Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Nick. I'm a South Florida Uber driver. I've been doing this for the last 3 years, basically since the pandemic started. Sorry about that, my camera fell. I've been doing this since the pandemic started. This is what I shifted over from. And today I want to just give you three ways to help you make the goals that you have, and 3 ways to help you make $400 a day. So let's get right into it. So first and foremost, you have to know your market. Look, I'm the person to tell you that if you live in like Timbuktu, or you live in a very rural area, suburban area, that you know, if your market doesn't have any type of volume, I don't want to lie to you and tell you, hey, yeah, you can do $400 in a day when nobody's ordering Ubers, and you know, it's just not, people just aren't doing it. You have to know what your market is like, okay? So usually a bigger city is probably where you're gonna get a lot of volume. In order to make the money that you need to make, that we make, you have to have the volume. Let's just be honest. If you don't have any passengers in the back seat, you're not making any money. So whether you're driving around or you're sitting still, kind of like I'm doing, you're not making any money if you don't have anybody in the back seat. So you have to know your market. And the way that I recommend that you learn your market is simple. You first start, you go out in your market and you work 12 hours a day. Look, I get it. It's a long time. I get it. You know, people got things to do. You might have kids. You might have a significant other. You might just want to have, you might say you have a life. But the way that the reason why you have to work 12 hours a day, shout out to Running Speed, you work 12 hours a day because you're going to learn exactly what your market is like. Because when you work 12 hours a day, that means, like, let's say you started early in the morning, you started at 2 o'clock. You're going from the morning, so you're going to see the morning shift, and then you're going to jump into the afternoon shift because it's 12 hours. Or let's say you start at 8 o'clock and you go all the way down to 8, from 8 to 8. You're basically working the morning shift, the afternoon shift, and the evening shift. So you're getting a chance to see how all of these different shifts, all of these different times a day, how many ride requests you're getting. So you kind of get the chance to understand, okay, maybe in my market, the morning shift is really good, but afternoons kind of suck. And then evenings, I'm balling, you know, or maybe it's that, yeah, the evenings really suck in my market, so the mornings and the afternoons are better. It's all of, everybody's market is different. Here in South Florida, our market is one where basically for 6 months it is super hot. It's super hot fire. We have a 24-hour market. We have South Beach. We have Wynwood. We have just a bunch of different places. We have the ports. We have a lot of stuff going on. So our market is going to obviously be different than a rural area where, you know, you don't have water right next to you, or you don't really have any tourist attractions like, you know, people that people want to go to. So I can kind of generate a different type of income than somebody would, say, if they were in those types of areas. So you have to know your market to know how much is really possible. And to be honest with you, even if your market isn't like the greatest, you can always drive to a different market. Don't get twisted. Don't you're not beholden to one simple market. You can always go to a different place. So if you don't live in a bigger city, generally that's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be the most profitable. If you don't live in a bigger city, you can always drive to a bigger city. Maybe you say, oh yeah, well, I work during the week. Okay, for those 5 days, you may not do Uber. On the weekends, you go to a different city and you hit it up. Or maybe you say, yeah, well, I have kids, I have this, I have that. You navigate it in your schedule. So first and foremost, you know, if you're an Uber driver, most likely you come from a W-2 job, a regular job. And we all know, if your job tells you, hey, we need you to come in, you're going to come in. When you signed up for the job, they told you your schedule. When you signed up for the job, they told you what you were going to do. And you did it because we get paid. So with Uber, it's your business. It's your life. Yes, I understand that you don't necessarily set the pay rates. You don't necessarily know how much the customer is tipping, but it's still your business, okay? So, so you have to know your market to know how much is a possibility for you to make. And if you don't have a huge possibility to make the money that you want, then move or go to a different place, just vacation over there or whatever. Do what you got to do to pay your bills. Do what you got to do to hit the numbers that you want to hit. So once you know your market and you kind of understand the times of stuff, you kind of understand, okay, the biggest volume is during this time. I can kind of cherry pick, or during this time is really slow. You want to start to generate a strategy. That's the second step. You have to know how you want to drive. Now, I'm not saying that every single day you can only go by your strategy, but you kind of want to have like a game plan, so to speak. You want to kind of know what you're doing out here. You don't want to just kind of get out here and just, well, whatever. I'm just going to drive around, because it won't be as profitable. You're going to run into situations where you're losing more money than you are making it. So, you got to have that strategy. Maybe you say, when I get the chance, I'm only gonna work. I'm only gonna do short trips. Maybe, I'm sorry, I'm playing with my camera. Maybe you're gonna say, hey, when I get the chance, I'm only gonna do short trips. That's my strategy. I'm gonna do the short trips. Maybe you have a college in your city and you're like, I'll do short trips. These college students need to go, so I'm gonna just do short trips. I'm gonna knock out, 20, 30 short trips every day. And that's how I'm gonna make $100, $200, $300. In my case, I like to do longer trips. I prefer to have one, maybe 5 or 6 people a day pay me the $200. That's the way that I do it. Again, you're gonna generate a strategy when you know your market. When you know what your market is capable of, and you kind of understand the times, you understand how to really knock things out. You create a strategy, create a game plan. And you want to follow it. Don't say, yeah, well, I'm going to do short trips and, you start doing what I do. Or, I'm going to do long trips, but every day you're coming out here and you're working really, you're doing really short trips or something like that. Or, you say, hey, every day I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock. And then you start waking up at 11 and, 12. And you kind of get lackadaisical. Don't do that. You got to create a strategy, a game plan, because you want to stay focused. And then the last and most important thing, once you have a strategy, once you kind of know your market, you just want to be consistent. You want to be consistent, because by you being consistent, you can kind of build out, not necessarily a spreadsheet, but you have you have data that you can kind of rely on. You can start to see patterns, because if you're consistent. And the patterns is what's going to tell you what days are the best, what times are the best, when you should actually drive, when you shouldn't drive. It's going to kind of tell you how to be as efficient as possible. At the end of the day, as long as you have people in your car, you're going to make money. And that's the beautiful thing about Uber. You make money as long as you have people in your car. And if you can keep putting people in your car, you're going to make money. But when you start talking about these big numbers, you want to be as efficient as possible, because you only have 24 hours in a day. And, maybe you have a life outside. Maybe you have a significant other. Maybe you have kids. We all have things going on. So if you have that information, because every week you see, for what I mean is like this. Every week you see Fridays, man. Fridays, it just blows up. I make like $60 between 5 and 6 every Friday. Every Friday I make $60 an hour. Well, probably a Friday would be the best day to try to go for a $400 day. Or let's say every Wednesday during the lunch shift. Man, every time I go by this restaurant, it's always people requesting Ubers. You kind of figure it out from there. yeah, you kind of figure out from there what you should be doing. And that's the beautiful thing. You know, it's based on you and how you like to work, and your market is based on your car and the different things that you can control. You know when you like to get up. You know when you make the most money. But it comes from being consistent. So, you know, I just wanted to share this with you guys because, you know, I've hit $400 a day quite a couple times now. And it's a beautiful thing. You know, we all have bills. We all like having money in our pockets. We all like seeing the money hit our bank accounts. But this would have never happened if I didn't start following these 3 things. So I just want you guys to know, you know, the money's out here. You know, don't listen to people that say that the money's not here. You can take this money and you can do whatever you need to with it. The last thing I'll share with you guys is whether you're trying to start a business, another business outside of Uber, maybe like a vending machine, maybe you want to get into real estate, maybe you want to do stocks. Having capital is huge, okay? Having capital is incredible. Every business needs capital. And we have the ability to go out and make it instantly, as long as we have people in the back seat. So guys, if you like my content, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know that you like this type of information. I'm gonna keep pumping out the videos. Nevertheless, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. And if you need anything, let me know. All right.